electricity on site will also reduce the impact of any future electricity price rises. Thanks to the cogenerator, we will use less coal-fired power from the electricity grid, therefore cutting those emissions. The plant is powered by gas, which, when compared with brown coal power generation, is a much cleaner and cheaper way of producing electricity. The electricity is also produced on site where it is needed. This reduces the loss of energy during electricity transmission. As this is our first foray into cogeneration technology, it has been an excellent learning opportunity for the council staff who have been involved with this very important project. We are using these lessons for future projects and are also sharing what we have learned with other councils and organisations who are undertaking similar projects. Although today we are marking the opening of the cogenerator, it is important to acknowledge the full scope of this project. It has also included the installation of solar panels, energy efficient lighting and variable speed drives to pumps at Ashburton Support Services, Samarinda Lodge and Water Reserve. All of these actions will further improve our energy efficiency and reduce council's greenhouse gas emissions and energy costs.
It's not easy, you know that. And it's even more difficult in times of uncertainty. And as this year draws to a close, it's already been referred to as a year of doubt, difficulty and ambiguity. There have been many, many problems we've been afflicted with globally, locally and nationally. I'm therefore particularly proud that Boroondara, through the leadership by council, the ability and the skills by the officers and the ongoing commitment of our community has been able to persevere with its sustainability agenda. Environmentally sustainable living is about creating deep change, and the best way of achieving and embedding deep change is through innovation. This is such an innovative project. I'm very proud of the officers and of course the experts that have managed to make this happen. Of course, with sustainability, like with most things in life, you can't do everything at once. So it's really important that you pick the right first step. And this project, because it's such a key part of our low carbon future strategy, is a very important first step for us as far as large-scale projects are concerned. The community of Boroondara wants us to do this. Many of them have been asking for some time, when is it finally going to be finished? And we've done everything we can, including BRAN and our other partners at Sustainability Victoria. And finally, the distribution agencies also came to the party and allowed us to make this happen. So it's good to see that all the parties came together in a very, very complex project. And it sets the tone, I think, for future projects that will happen, I'm sure. As I said, it's a real honor for me to be unveiling this or officially opening this today, because it highlights this very, very strong commitment that we have as an organization, as a government body, and as a community. As David mentioned before, the City of Boroondara is very grateful to the state government, to Sustainability Victoria for the funding that we've received, but also for the opportunity to work once again collaboratively across sectors, across levels of government. Because even though at the political level there are often many, many different opinions and views and sometimes tensions, at the officer level, when they get together to do a project, none of that matters. And that's really important for people to realize. I guess that's the other thing I wanted to say. We are forever thanking agencies, governments. We thank the state government, the community thanks us. But ultimately, the money we are spending, whether it's taxpayers' money or rates money, that money belongs to the community. And so for me, it's ultimately the community that's made this possible today. We've all contributed. I think that's a very important point we need to take home with us. As I said before, it's a very important part of our low carbon strategy because it's going to reduce our corporate greenhouse gases by some 4 or 5%, I think. Probably says 4% somewhere. And that is a significant reduction. And by doing this, I think we set a leading example. We have many strategies in place as far as sustainable living is concerned, that moral obligation we so often talk about within our community. And if we can't lead by setting up projects like this, which do reduce our corporate emissions, it's difficult for us, of course, to convince the community. So another reason why this is very important. What this also does, this project, is it makes Boroondara part of an evolution towards distributed energy, where energy is generated on site and is fed back into the grid. It's used to reduce Susie's power bill in the end. I think you benefit, I can guarantee you, which will be very important because we always have lots of issues at the Quake, and this is one where we hope that we won't have an issue. So it's for us a really important part. It's important for us to be a leader in that area because distributed energy has been around, the concept has been around for such a long time, and to see it happening on such a scale is very exciting. As far as the savings are concerned, I think it's equivalent, the technicians may correct me, it's nearly 300 cars is off the road. That's the equivalent in what they're saving in terms of emissions. 25,000 tons over 20 odd years. The savings are considerable, $70,000 a year, I think. So this will pay. The payback is what, over 20 years, roughly, maybe even less than that. So the cost that we're spending now will be paid back financially, but also in many other intangible ways. Thank you. I'm actually going to read this part of my speech properly. It is now my pleasure to officially declare the Ashburton Pool and Recreation Centre cogenerator to be in operation and driving Boroondara one step closer to a sustainable future. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for refreshments.